This state-funded public school in the capital, Monrovia, has more than 3,000 pupils aged 5 to 16. Sometimes as many as 90 children can be in one class. Principal Thelma Wordsworth says there's not enough money for even the basics.
What will make the school a better school is funding, instructional materials, and a lot more.
Back in 2013, Liberia's president called the public education system a mess. Although the majority of kids do now register for school, dropout rates are high. Results are some of the worst in the region. The Ministry of Education admits it simply doesn't have the resources to quickly improve the situation.
My ministry has a challenge with management, monitoring and evaluation. It would take us years to build that capacity. For poor children, particularly outside of Monrovia, they cannot wait for 30, 40 years. So we want to partner with private providers who have been proven to do a good job.
That private provider is Bridge International Academies. From September, they will test a pilot scheme, taking over the running of 50 state primary schools. Bridge International will be paid by the government and donors to manage the day-to-day running of the schools, train teachers and set the lessons. As public schools, education would be free. Many parents support the move.
The government institutions, when they come in for educational system, you don't see any seriousness into that. You see, so for me, it would be better to privatize our school system.
If you have private institutions taking over the government institution, and if they are going to improve on those kind of things, well, it would be fantastic.
If it would be free, then it would be much better. Because for someone who can't afford private school, that's why we send the children to government school.
If the pilot goes well, Bridge International could then take over the running of all of Liberia's nursery and primary public schools, a proposal that's met with fierce opposition.
Liberia's National Union of Teachers admit that there is a problem with the education system, but they see the private partnership as a quick fix and one that might not necessarily benefit all pupils and could lead to teacher redundancies. Even the United Nations has weighed on the issue, with the Special Rapporteur for the Right to Education calling the plan unacceptable and saying that it's an abdication of the government's chief responsibility to provide a good quality, free education.
But Bridge International's co-founder says such criticism is to be expected.
If you have worked in education for more than a day, you would not be surprised by special interests trying to protect the status quo. 2 out of 3 girls are illiterate after graduating from primary school. Is that a future this country wants? Is that a future that the UN Special Rapporteur should want?
The pilot scheme will run for a year. If it's approved and goes nationwide, this would be the biggest outsourcing of state education that Africa has ever seen. Katerina Vittozzi, CCTV, Monrovia, Liberia.